diving into mindfulness today.
Oh, nice.
I know you're busy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly why we're taking a shortcut through a podcast episode called Mindfulness Practices for Busy Lives.
That's it.
We'll pull out the best bits
and
make sure it's actually useful for you,
Mm-hmm.
even on your most hectic days.
Yeah.
You know, I once tried to write a holiday shopping list,
Oh, gosh.
answer emails,
Yeah.
and make breakfast
Oh, wow.
all at the same time.
I've been there.
Let's just say
Yeah.
a little mindfulness would have probably saved the day,
Right.
or at least the burnt toast.
That sounds a bit chaotic.
Yeah,
Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment
right.
without dwelling on past regrets or future anxieties.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much that simple shift in awareness
Mm-hmm.
can lead to better decisions and reduce stress.
It's almost like hitting a pause button
Yeah.
on the mental whirlwind, isn't it?
Exactly.
But a lot of people,
Yeah.
myself included,
Right.
sometimes think mindfulness equals meditation,
Right.
which can feel a bit daunting.
Yeah, it's a common misconception.
Really?
While meditation is one way to practice mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely not the only way.
Okay.
You can be mindful doing everyday things,
Like what?
enjoying your morning coffee,
Okay.
taking a walk,
Uh-huh.
even washing the dishes.
Oh, interesting.
It's about tuning into your senses
Okay.
and interrupting that autopilot mode
Right.
we all tend to slip into.
So instead of just going through the motions,
Yeah.
we're actually making a conscious choice to be present.
Right.
That choice element is intriguing.
Mm.
I remember hearing somewhere
Yeah.
that mindfulness actually changes the structure of our brains.
Uh-huh.
Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Harvard Medical School research
Okay.
shows that mindfulness actually strengthens the neural pathways in the brain,
Oh, wow.
especially areas associated with focus and emotional control.
So it's not just a feeling. There's a real physical change happening.
Real physical change.
That's incredible.
It is pretty cool.
How does simply paying attention to the present moment
Well,
lead to these changes?
think of it like working out a muscle.
Okay.
When you practice mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
you're essentially training your brain to stay present,
Right.
calm,
Okay.
and responsive rather than reactive.
Interesting.
You're building resilience to stress
Uh-huh.
and enhancing your ability to regulate your emotions.
Okay, so how can we actually incorporate mindfulness into our already packed schedules?
Right.
I'm hoping there's some simple practical tips that
Oh, yeah.
won't require hours of meditation.
Definitely.
Okay, good.
Let's start with mindful breathing.
Okay.
This is your on-the-go,
Yeah.
anytime, anywhere stress reliever.
I like that.
Just take a deep breath in for a count of 4,
Okay.
hold it for 4,
Got it.
and exhale for 4.
Okay.
Repeat this a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be surprised by how quickly it can shift your state of mind.
Can you explain the science behind
Sure.
how something as simple as mindful breathing can have such a profound impact?
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Deep, controlled breathing actually stimulates the vagus nerve,
Wow.
which is a key part of your parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
This system is responsible for calming your body down,
Mm-hmm.
slowing your heart rate,
Okay.
and reducing stress hormones.
Interesting.
So by practicing mindful breathing,
Yeah.
you're directly influencing your nervous system's response to stress.
Wow. It really is like hitting the reset button for your entire system.
Exactly.
In the podcast episode we're using for this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
they also mentioned some other techniques like mindful eating
Uh-huh.
and mindful walking.
Right.
What makes these practices mindful?
It's all about bringing that same present moment awareness to these activities.
Okay.
With mindful eating, for example,
Yeah.
you're savoring each bite,
Mm-hmm.
paying attention to the flavors, textures,
Uh-huh.
and even the smells of your food.
Oh, interesting.
It's a way to slow down,
Right.
truly enjoy your meal,
Mm-hmm.
and even prevent overeating
Okay.
by tuning into your body's signals of fullness.
So it's about breaking free from the habit
Yes,
of mindlessly scarfing down food while scrolling through our phones, right?
exactly.
And what about mindful walking?
Okay.
Is it just a fancy way of saying take a walk?
It's more than just putting one foot in front of the other.
Okay.
It's about transforming your daily commute
Uh-huh.
or even a quick stroll around the block
Right.
into a mindful experience.
Okay.
You're tuning into the sensations of your feet on the ground,
Yeah.
noticing the sights and sounds around you,
Mm.
and feeling the air on your skin.
Oh, I see.
It's a way to bring awareness to the physical act of walking
Okay.
and be present in your surroundings.
Those small shifts in awareness seem so simple.
Yeah.
But they can make a world of difference.
They really can.
Especially in our always-on, hyper-connected world. Yeah. It's almost like a mini vacation for your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require traveling to an exotic island.
Right.
You can access this sense of presence and peace right here, right now.
Wow.
Just by tuning into your senses and engaging with your current experience.
The podcast episode also highlights the concept of mindful transitions.
Oh, interesting.
What are those exactly, and how can they be useful?
Mindful transitions are those moments throughout the day when you shift from one activity to another.
Right.
Think about finishing work, leaving a meeting, or even just moving from one room to another.
Oh, I see.
It's easy to just rush through those moments on autopilot, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even think about it. I'm just like on to the next thing.
But those transitions are actually prime opportunities.
Okay.
To pause.
Right.
Take a breath and reset.
Yeah.
Instead of carrying the stress of work into your evening or the tension of a meeting into your next task.
Yeah.
You can use those few seconds to create a mental break.
So instead of letting those transitions become a blur, we're actually making them mindful moments.
Exactly.
I like that.
That brings us to another interesting technique.
Okay.
I mentioned in the podcast.
Yeah.
Mindful listening.
What's that?
Mindful listening is all about truly focusing on the person speaking.
Okay.
Without letting your mind wander to your to-do list.
Oh, man, that's hard.
Or that witty comeback you just thought of.
Yeah.
It's about being present with the other person.
Right.
Absorbing their words.
Okay.
And understanding their perspective.
I can see how that would be a game changer in relationships. Right. I mean, it's so easy to get distracted when someone's talking to us.
It is.
Especially in our tech-saturated world.
It's true.
Yeah, for sure.
We're constantly bombarded with information and stimuli.
Right.
So it takes a conscious effort to cultivate mindful listening. But the rewards are well worth it.
Yeah. Not only does it strengthen your connections with others,
right,
but it also helps you become a better communicator overall.
Oh, that's good.
It's funny. Yeah. The podcast brought up some high achievers.
Oh, really?
Who swear by mindfulness.
Like who?
Oprah? LeBron James?
Oh, yeah.
Even the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
What do you think it is about mindfulness
I don't know.
that resonates with people from such diverse background?
Well, I guess the fact that it can help you manage pressure,
right?
You know, to make better choices.
Exactly.
And just stay grounded.
Yeah.
Amidst the chaos.
That's it.
I mean, if it works for them, it can work for anybody.
What's fascinating is that despite their different paths in life, they all seem to recognize the power of mindfulness.
Yeah.
To manage pressure.
Right.
Make intentional choices.
Okay.
And stay grounded amidst the chaos. It's a testament to mindfulness as a universal tool for well-being.
Right.
Not just a niche practice. So it's a good reminder that we all have those moments where we feel overwhelmed or pulled in a million directions. And even on our busiest days, we can still carve out those small pockets of time to practice mindfulness.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about that 5-minute break idea they mentioned.
Even just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Stepping away from your desk, closing your eyes,
right,
and focusing on your breath can have a remarkable impact.
Really?
On your stress levels and mental clarity.
And imagine combining that short break with some mindful breathing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a powerful 1-2 punch for stress reduction.
It is.
But what about when we're stuck in those unavoidable, stressful situations, like being stuck in traffic or dealing with a frustrating coworker?
That's where the idea of mindful observation comes in.
Oh, okay.
Instead of getting caught up in the negative emotions of the situation, you shift your focus to observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
Right.
That's tough.
It's about acknowledging those feelings.
Okay.
The frustration, the anger, the impatience.
Yeah.
Without letting them control your reactions.
So it's not about suppressing those emotions.
Yeah.
It's about becoming aware of them and choosing how we respond.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a subtle but important distinction.
Can you give an example of how this might play out in real life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's say you're stuck in traffic and you're feeling that familiar surge of frustration and impatience.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
Instead of letting it take over, you can practice mindful observation by noticing those thoughts.
Right.
I'm going to be late. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Without judging yourself for having them.
So just acknowledging that they're there.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can then shift your attention to your breath Or even to neutral observations about your surroundings.
Okay.
Like the colors of the cars around you.
Or the sounds of the city.
That's a good idea.
It's a way to detach from the emotional intensity of the situation.
Right.
And create a sense of space between you and your reactions.
That's such a helpful technique. It's like taking a mental step back from the situation.
Exactly.
And choosing to observe it rather than be consumed by it.
That's it.
I love that even in those seemingly small moments, we can practice mindfulness and make choices that lead to more peace and clarity.
That's the beauty of mindfulness.
Yeah.
It's not about grand gestures or escaping reality.
Right.
It's about finding those pockets of awareness in everyday life and using them to create positive change. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes to access that sense of presence and calm.
It's about progress, not perfection, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mindfulness isn't about never feeling stressed or frustrated.
Right.
It's about building the skills to navigate those emotions with more awareness and intention.
That's reassuring to hear. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us, myself included,
Right.
sometimes put pressure on ourselves to be perfectly mindful all the time.
Right.
And it's like, you can't be, you're human.
Exactly.
Which can feel defeating when our minds inevitably wander.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah.
Those moments when your mind wanders
Yeah.
are actually opportunities to practice gently guiding it back to the present moment. Each time you do that, you're strengthening your attention muscle.
Right.
And deepening your capacity for awareness.
It's like learning a new skill.
Exactly.
It takes practice, patience, and a bit of self-compassion.
Right.
We're not going to be mindful masters overnight.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's important to remember that there's no right way to practice mindfulness.
Oh, really?
What works for one person might not work for another.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
as an expert in mindfulness, what are some of the most common misconceptions you encounter? One of the biggest misconceptions is that mindfulness is about emptying your mind.
Oh, okay.
Or achieving a state of bliss.
Right.
It's not about blocking out thoughts or emotions.
Okay.
It's about learning to observe them without judgment.
Got it.
It's about creating space for whatever arises in your experience.
Okay.
Whether it's pleasant or unpleasant.
So it's about accepting the full spectrum of human experience.
Yeah.
The good, the bad,
right.
the messy.
It's not about forcing ourselves to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Precisely. Mindfulness is about cultivating a sense of curiosity and openness towards your inner world rather than trying to control it.
Okay.
And that acceptance, that willingness to be present with whatever arises is where true freedom lies.
It sounds like mindfulness isn't just a set of techniques.
Right.
It's more of a way of being a shift in perspective.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
So for our listener who's maybe feeling inspired to give mindfulness a try, what's one simple takeaway they can implement today?
I know.
What's a good starting point?
If I had to pick just one, it would be mindful breathing.
Yeah.
It's so accessible.
Right.
You can do it anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
And it has a profound impact on your physical and mental state.
That makes sense.
Just a few deep, conscious breaths can help you regain a sense of calm and clarity.
And it doesn't require any special equipment or training.
No.
Just finding a quiet spot, closing your eyes, and paying attention to the rise and fall of your breath.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you find your mind wandering, which it inevitably will, just gently guide it back to your breath. There's no need to judge yourself.
Right.
It's all part of the practice.
It's almost like training a puppy, right?
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And just like with puppy training, consistency is key.
Right.
The more you practice mindfulness, the more it will become a natural part of your daily life.
Right.
You'll find yourself more present in conversations, more aware of your emotions, and more able to navigate challenges with grace and resilience.
I think what's so exciting about mindfulness is that it's an ongoing journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
There's always more to discover, new layers to uncover, new ways to deepen your practice.
And the beauty of this journey is that you don't have to be perfect.
That's good.
It's about showing up with a willingness to learn, to grow, and to be present with whatever arises along the way.
Wait, so for our listener, no matter where you are on your mindfulness path, we encourage you to try out one technique from this deep dive.
Okay.
Start with mindful breathing. experiment with mindful walking or eating.
Right.
Or use mindful transitions to create pauses in your day.
Good ideas.
What have you got to lose?
You got nothing to lose.
And you can always revisit this deep dive as a refresher.
Exactly.
We're excited to see what positive changes mindfulness brings to your life.
You too.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Be present.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind to yourself.
Right.
And keep diving deep.